What's up, ladies? How y'all doing? It is your diva and knowledge, your one and only diva, Lady Mocha. How y'all doing? Hope everything is going well. I'm glad that you ladies was able to subscribe. For those of you who are new here, I have my original channel that I do, Mocha's Cafe de Paris, where I actually have men and women there, but I decided to branch off and also have a separate channel specifically for the ladies because I feel like ladies need their own space. They need a place where women can talk and chat without, men, being in the chat room. I think sometimes as women, we feel more comfortable to talk and discuss certain issues and certain topics when there are not men, in the room giving their opinions. And, sometimes, men can be pretty harsh when you're just expressing your feelings and you're sharing your opinion. And sometimes men, they don't tend to understand, where we're coming from emotionally as women. So, nevertheless, that is why I have my own space, Mocha's Ladies Lounge. So, this is a space specifically for women and women only, where we can talk about things that women need to be comfortable and able to discuss certain topics that only we can relate to with one another. So, I thought it was imperative that I did this particular topic tonight. A man can have interest in you without really being into you. And the reason I felt it was imperative, that I discussed this was because I had recently set up this guy on my job with a really good girlfriend of mine. And he seemed like the ideal type of guy. He's laid back, he's cool, he's calm, collective, nice looking young man. And he just had a difficult time in a very volatile relationship with another female. The female that he was with before I hooked him up with my female friend had really taken him through a lot. He was really miserable with her. She was very dominating, very aggressive. And, once I met, the woman he was with at the time, I understood why. She was probably very dominating and very aggressive with him, because when I got to meet her, I saw how unattractive she was. She was not an attractive woman at all. She was overweight. She was cute in the face, but she was a heavy size female. And I guess she felt because of that alone, she didn't have many options to choose from. So the fact that she was able to get this man to be with her, I guess she feared for him losing. I guess she was fretful that she could possibly lose him. So what she did was she tried to overly dominate him, because for one, not only was he nice looking, but he was younger than her. So she had two advantages. She was older than him. And I think by him being young, he really didn't know what to do with her. So nevertheless, when he met her, me and him was going through the police academy at the time. And he was just really miserable. He was in a dark place. And he was staying with her at the time. He didn't have any family here and stuff like that. So he kind of put himself in a position where he was kind of stuck with her. And he didn't have any kids, mind you. She had children. So I remember when we did what was called a family night at the police academy, where it was allowed to bring out family and friends. He had like 2 kids with him. And, I was like, okay, who are these kids? He's like, oh, these are not my kids. These are my girlfriend's kids. I'm like, okay, that's strange that she has you with her children. And that just goes to show you how much control she had over him. Okay, to where she was able to get this dude to take her kids with him, and they were not even his kids. That's how much control she had over him. So, nevertheless, I remember at the point in time, he was really cool with me and some of the other females in the police academy. And we all were just friends. And he was really close to one particular female. And the female that he was close to already had a husband. And the husband was aware of him and her being friends. So nobody felt any type of way. As a matter of fact, he would go over to her house when her husband was there. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like they was doing anything inappropriate. But evidently, I guess Big Brenda had a problem with that. I'm gonna just call the girl Big Brenda. Big Brenda, Big Bertha had a problem with that. And we, during our training at the academy, we was allowed to take like an hour or hour and a half lunch sometimes. So me and her decided to go out and have lunch, because usually she would always have lunch with him. But this particular day, Big Bertha decided she was going to take over her man and make sure she was with him for lunch or whatever. So long story short, she was wondering where the guy was, and the guy was like, my girlfriend wants to meet you. So her not thinking much of it, because him and her are just just friends. She said, okay, I don't have a problem with meeting your girlfriend. So me and her sitting at the diner waiting on our food to come. Here he comes walking in like Harpo with Stevie. Okay, so you can tell he's fretful out of his damn mind. He's totally fretful, right? And she approaches the table. We felt the whole room shaking literally when she walked in. Okay, not only because of her weight, but because of her big attitude. Her attitude was just as big as her. Okay, so she walks in and she says, well, which one of y'all name is so and so and so or whatever? So I said, that's not me. And she said, that's me. My last name is, I'm gonna just say Johnson. Yeah, my last name is Johnson. She came up there stampeding, like I said, like, um, Sophia. That's what I'm gonna say. Like he was acting like Harpo, and she was acting like Sophia, this big, bossy, aggressive, overly dominant woman or whatever. So she wants to know which one of y'all is Johnson. So she says, I'm Johnson. She said, oh, okay. So you the one who's been hanging out a lot with my man. And she was like, okay, but me and him, we're just friends. I'm already married. I have a husband. Matter of fact, anytime he's ever came over, my husband's been there. It is nothing like that. I'm just friends with him. She said, well, the whole bottom line is it's inappropriate for you to be hanging out with my man x amount of times a day, amount of time. I feel like y'all hang out together too much. And she's like, well, right now we're training in the police academy, so of course we're going to be around each other a lot. She said, well, I'm not comfortable with it because y'all be talking to each other even when he's gone, even when the training is over. I know training be over 5 o'clock, y'all still be talking then. I feel like y'all hanging out too much, and I'm gonna let you know now, you need to stop dealing with him. You need to stop talking to him. He's standing there behind her like a fretful little boy, like he's scared to defend himself, like he does not want to say anything. Okay, so you can tell he's embarrassed because Big Bertha, the woman he's living with at the time, Big Bertha, he has nothing to really fight her with because he's basically staying with her. He's living with her at the time. So what happens is she tells the other lady, she tells Johnson, she says, I already told him that I don't feel comfortable with him hanging around you. And he told me he was not hanging with you. And I've come to find out that he's been lying. I've come to find out that he's been hanging with you more than he should. It don't matter if you got a husband or not. Y'all don't need to be hanging out like y'all hanging out. Okay. So my friend basically was like, the other girl was like, well, wait a minute now. You coming at me like it's my fault. If he wants to hang out with me, I don't have any control over that. But at the same time, I'm married. So if my husband don't have a problem with it, I'm not about to sit up here and let you dominate me because my own husband don't even have a problem with me being friends with him. So basically, she tells her, I'm letting you know because I done already told him. Not that I'm not feeling it. I'm letting you know that I'm not feeling it. Y'all don't need to be hanging out together, this, and that. So she drags him out of the restaurant and into the parking lot. And you can tell she's still going off on him some more. She's still saying some more things to him, scolding him like a little child. And you can tell he practically can't do anything with her. Um, from my understanding, I believe he was probably 25, 26, and she was probably 30, 31. So she already was older than him, and she had more baggage and responsibilities than him. So basically, he was a little boy trying to deal with a full-grown woman that had way too many problems that he was not mature enough to handle or not capable of handling. Put it that way. So I told Johnson, I said, you might want to be careful hanging around him. I know that's just your male friend, but if his girlfriend is overly possessive like that, I wouldn't want to get caught up in the middle of that or whatever the case is. And she was like, yeah, you're right. You may have a point. Nevertheless, a week or so later, she was still hanging out with him, and he was still hanging out with her. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not getting into that. So anyway, I ran into this young man a year later. Okay. And at this point in time, you can tell he's matured. He has gotten a little older. He's looking a little bit better. So I said, I'm gonna call him Brown. I said, Brown, so how you been doing? Oh, I'm doing good. This, and that, and everything. I said, I know we both have finished the academy together, but uh, what has happened since the academy? Are you still dealing with that female that was basically acting like Sophia and had you like Harpo? Are you still dealing with her? Oh no, I let that go. I'm not dealing with her anymore. She was too much. This, that, and the third, and everything. So I said, okay. So I'm like, I tell you what, I know a female that I think you would be compatible with. I think y'all would click. I think y'all would really get along pretty well. So he was like, okay, sure, I would like to meet her. So I'm thinking, after he had such a rough relationship with, Big Bertha that was overly dominant in him, I'm like, okay, maybe he can deal with somebody that's a little bit more on his level. So what I did was I hooked him up with another female that was his age, that did not have all of the baggage that the other female had. She was young like him, well put together. She didn't have any children either. So I'm thinking, okay, him or her should be able to click. So I had hooked him up with a female friend of mine, and I pretty much kind of told her, what the man had gone through with the last girlfriend. So I said, I felt like you two would be really compatible. I think y'all would hit it off. So she said, okay, I would like to meet him. No problem. So I basically hooked the both of them up. I hooked them up with my friend. And I figured, because to me, he gave me this vibe that he was a nice guy. He gave me this vibe that he was laid back. He was cool. I felt he just needed a female that wasn't too dominant and wasn't too overly possessive like his last girlfriend was. So I got them to meet each other. They hit it off. Things went well. So he had told me out of his own mouth how much he liked the girl that I hooked him up with. So I said, how are you and so-and-so working out? How are you and Kim working out? Oh, we're working out real good. She's a really good woman. She's good to me. I feel like we're compatible. So the female that I hooked him up with, when I hooked him up with Kim, he basically made it seem like, he was really into Kim. Because I asked him, because I'm not good at this matchmaking thing, but for the most part, I'm a good judgment of character. I can kind of tell for the most part if a person is going to be compatible with somebody or not. So I wanted to make sure that the woman that I introduced him to, that him or her was on the same page. Okay. So he made it seem like to me, he really liked her. He could see himself being with her. He even went so far as to saying, I see her as a future wife. Now, these are the words he quoted to me. So I'm like, wow, okay, I think I really did a good job. I think I'm on to something here. He is really, really feeling my friend. He's consider her as wife material. Okay, maybe we on to something. Girl, when I tell you how this fool had us going, acting like he was really into my friend. Okay, so coincidentally, me and him work at the same police department together. All right, so I checked back with her to see how him or her was doing. And I started hearing rumors at my job, because I work at a police department. I started hearing rumors that he was seeing different females there, that he was seeing someone there. And I'm like, I hope that's not the case, because I had asked him if he was hitting it off with my friend. So once these rumors came to my attention that he was seeing other females and women on the job, I said, let me ask him. So before I can get a chance to ask him about if he was seeing other women on the job, because my thing is, if you want to be a player and you want to have the privilege of seeing more than one woman, I don't have a problem with that. But what you don't need to do is play with other women's emotions. Don't lie to other women. Don't be lying to women saying you the only one I want to be with you, and you getting a woman emotionally involved in you only to let her down and set her up for disappointment. That's how you create fatal attraction situations. And I don't think a lot of men understand that. Some dudes, they play with fire because their egos make them think they can do what they want to do. So nevertheless, I remember I was walking down the hall and I ran into him. And I said, well, no, I'm not going to ask him right away. I'm just kind of watching, see what's going on before I go in, before I ask him what's going on. Now, how he snitched on himself. He snitched on himself without realizing he snitched on himself. He said, yo, what's up, so-and-so? Because we call each other last names at my job. Yo, what's up? What's up? Blah, blah, blah. How you doing? I said, yeah, how's it going, Brown? So out the blue, I asked him how things are going and stuff, and he said everything is going good. And then he goes and he says, look, I appreciate you for not going around blasting to everybody on the job that I'm dating your friend. Now, this is what he says to me. And in the back of my mind, you know, I don't know if y'all ladies didn't pick up on it just now, but I picked up on it right away. When he told me that comment, I'm glad that you're not going around telling my business to everybody, that I'm talking to your friend. That let me know right then and there, okay, you must be up to something. You must be dealing with somebody, because my thing is, why would it matter to you if somebody was going around and saying that you are dating my friend Kim? Why should it have mattered to you? If you are really into Kim, you're only dating her. What the hell difference does it make if other people on your job know you got a girlfriend? So he let me know right then and there that he was up to something. He was doing something shady when he said that comment to me. But I said, okay, I'm not going to say nothing right away. I'm going to just still fall back. But I called my girlfriend. I hollered at her. I said, how things are going with you and Brown? She said Brown was acting funny. He was acting distant. And all of a sudden, he act like he's so busy. He don't have no time for her. Now, mind you, this is pissing me off because I set this guy up with this girl. And I basically put him out there like he's this great guy. I told her, you know, he's a cool guy. He's laid back. You know, I gave her all of these wonderful descriptions about this guy. And basically now he's making me look like I'm a liar to my friend because he's not calling her. Now, this has been after they've been kicking it. You know, they done win a couple of places. Mind you, when this dude got sick, she picked up his medicine for him. That's how into this guy my friend was. She picked up his medicine and she brought him some soup. She did all of this nice stuff for him to let him know how much she cared about him. And through all of that, come to find out, he left my friend to go be with somebody else. He is currently dating another female at my job right in front of my face. And do y'all understand the composure I have to keep to not like literally go off on his ass? I'm like really like blown. So, and instead of him, you know, I'm thinking he was supposed to be talking to my friend. He stopped talking to my friend, and she's coming back and asking me stuff. And I'm putting the pieces together that this dude is lying to her. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, we work in the jail, so some of these inmates are positive from the COVID. So some officers have to take off and get 14 days. So he's up here telling my friend all these excuses that I had to be off for 14 days. What's up, Poetic? How you doing? I didn't know if I was going to go live tonight or not, because I would have brought you in on my live if you feel like it. Because, you know, I can't plan nothing no more. I just got to kind of do stuff on the spur of the moment. Because it seemed like every time I try to plan something, it just doesn't happen when I try to plan panels. But if you want to join me tonight, you are more than welcome. I'll be glad to throw you a link. Or if you just want to hang out and chill, that's fine too. Yeah, but I wasn't sure if I was going to do this live tonight, so that's why I didn't send out an email, because every time I send out people an email thinking I'm going to do a live, I end up not doing a live. So I just got to just kind of do it on the spot, because I had so much stuff I had to do. But this dude ends up ditching my friend who was feeling him, and he's going with another female on my job who's basically nowhere on her level. Nowhere on her level. Now, don't get me wrong. She's the female he's dealing with. She's a cute girl. She's nice. But what I do notice the difference is this female that he's dealing with outside of my friend, she's younger than him. She's younger. My friend has him about 3 years. My girlfriend is like 3 years older than him. I believe he's like 28, and my friend is like 30. My friend's like 31, 32, somewhere in that ballpark. So it's like a 3-4 year difference. Now the female he's dealing with, she's like 22, 23. Okay. And When I say that young broad is giving him a run for his money, she has him so goddamn sprung. I'm like, I don't understand the fascination with these dudes and these young broads. I mean, yeah, I guess having a young woman in your arms, this young eye candy is pleasing, but young women are very aggravating. They're very aggravating. These young women, they so up and down emotionally. They are a piece of work. Okay, I'm gonna send you a link, a link. This is usually how they go. They treat the trash ass dudes. I know it's the treat right now. Well, what T coach basically with him, it was the opposite. He was getting dogged. He was getting dogged by another female. That's why I hooked him up with a different female that I felt, you know what I'm saying? What would be more suitable for him. I hooked him up with a nicer female. I hooked him up with somebody that was more on his level, because the last female he was with, she was this plus size bulldozer, you know, possessive, aggressive chick. Okay. And she had 4 kids that she had him taking care of. And none of them didn't even belong to him. So he was basically a better dude for the last female. He could not do anything with her. She had a lot of control over him. So he finally got up the balls to go and leave her. So I'm thinking, okay, now maybe he's ready for somebody who's not going to be so mean, nasty, and aggressive. That's what I'm thinking, you know. And when I hooked him up with the good girl, with the more, you know, compatible female who was checking on him. Yeah, I dropped the link in your inbox, Kels. So when I hooked him up with the other girl, she was she was the total opposite of the female that was dogging him. She was the total opposite. So she picked up his medicine for him. She brought him soup when he wasn't feeling well. She was doing everything the last girl was not doing. So I thought I was doing him a favor by hooking him up with a better female. He gets the better female and he spits on him. So, you know, that's what I'm saying. You know, and it go both ways, but I want to stay on the subject here, because tonight I'm talking about men who do this. Because I know women do it, but tonight I'm just specifically talking about how some of these men, and that's what I'm trying to make the ladies understand. A man can show interest in you and not be interested in you. And a lot of women are not understanding that. They don't get it. You know, they don't understand that, okay, a guy, just because he's nice to you, just because y'all went out on a few couple of dinners and y'all kicked it off, it does not mean there was a connection there. What's up, boo? How are you doing?
Hey, Mocha. It's been a while since I've been up here with you. How you doing, sis?
Girl, I'm like, you know what? I'm so glad you came on tonight, because, like I said, honey, I'm like the IRS. You never know when the hell I'm gonna come.
No,
I just go. You know what I mean? So I'm like, people got to catch me when they can. So I said, I know it's meant to be. The Kels is up in the building, and I know you can definitely relate to this. So I'm glad to have you here on board, because it's definitely a lot of females who have gone through this. You probably experienced it at one point in time yourself. And the truth is, a lot of women, they are not understanding that a man can be attracted to you, and that don't mean he's interested though. Before we go in a little deep, because this is going to be a pretty long conversation. What is your intake on that? Do you think a man could be interested and attracted in a woman and not even be the least bit interested in her?
I believe that. I had a situation like that actually. I was kind of seeing a guy who I felt like he he was attracted to me, but not really into me. I think
Mhm.
he just wanted to. I don't know what it was. It's a feeling you get. You could kind of tell. It's like, look, you may be attracted to me, but I could tell you're not really into getting to know me. It's more
Mm.
like you
Been there,
wanna.
honey. Been
Yeah,
there. I
yeah.
know
It's like
that damn feeling.
yeah, it's like you just want me around, maybe because other guys may want me, and you
Mhm.
want to be with me because of that, or you like the attention, or you just want you something,
Mhm.
a little something,
Mhm.
something. But I had a situation like that, and then he had the audacity to be very, very demanding. It's like you're not
Mm.
even really into me, but
Wow.
you want me to be extremely faithful to that.
Mm. You
And
you definitely telling the truth. Yeah, keep it
yes,
going.
yep. And I said, no, no way. You just like me maybe because of the way I look. you know,
Mhm. Mhm.
and maybe you think
Mhm.
this is sexy, but I don't think that you really into getting to know me. So why should I have to shut down my whole operation? I can't talk to no men.
Mhm.
I can't collect no phone numbers, and
Mhm.
you're not even really that interested in me.
Mhm.
Yeah, so me and him went back and forth, and we kind of fell out over that because I called him out on it,
Mm.
and he felt like I was being
Mhm.
problematic.
Because the truth is, he would have dragged it out as long as you allowed it. You know what I mean?
Yes, they would.
And that's what a lot of women don't understand. If you don't see the interest is not there, and you're still determined to keep it going,
Mm-hmm.
then they'll drag it out as long as you allow it.
Yes,
If
they
you don't call
will.
them out on it, they're gonna keep it going. But yeah.
Yeah, and because I called it out, I was problematic because I called it out and shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he's not used to women telling him no because he's kind of
Mm-hmm.
he one of those who like to throw money in women's face. Yeah.
Them the worst kind because they
Yeah.
feel like with $1, they can pretty much, do whatever it is that they want, because they feel like they got the money now to really camouflage, you know what I'm saying? They money is their way of really compensating for their lack of interest. Long as I throw her
Yes.
some dollars, she'll be all right.
Yeah. Trick off a little bit. Pay a car note, pay a phone bill, pay some rent. Just to
Mm-hmm.
have something.
Mm-hmm.
There is some guys like that. So, there's a lot of guys like that at my job too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but them guys at my job, they gotta have them something at work,
Oh yep.
and they be,
Yep.
it be
Yep.
and they make good
Yep.
money at my job, so they be tricking off big time.
Oh gosh. I could
Yes,
only like think and imagine,
yes,
how those types really like, you know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
Uh yeah, and that's exactly why, for that very reason alone, that's why I want to do this content, because there's a lot of females out here that are getting bamboozled. And I'm not gonna say it's 100% the men's fault, because a woman sees what she wants to see, and if you when you really, really like a guy,
mm-hmm.
you perceive it the way you want to perceive it. When you don't really like when you're not really into a guy, you're not trying to look for a reason to make him like you because you're not into him. But if it's a guy that you're really, really into, you're going to try to, in your mind, convince yourself that there's really a connection there. And the truth is, just because you and a guy have a few things in common, that does not mean there's a connection. And I think that's the biggest issue, is that a lot of women get that confused because y'all hit it off the first 1 or 2 dates, and y'all both like to eat out Red Lobster. Y'all both like to go bowling. Y'all got a few couple of 1 or 2 little things in common. You have already determined that there's a connection there. And it's not for him. It may be for you, but that's what I'm learning. I'm learning a guy can be interested. He can show interest and not even be interested in you.
Yeah, but that's a woman's desperate attempt to have a man, because you will start.
Yeah.
You these are signs that display themselves off the rip. You know, you'll pick up little. I mean, I picked up little signs and knew that the guy wasn't interested in me.
Exactly. And you know what? I think too, because I think I want more people to hear about this. So what we're going to do is I'm gonna shut this channel down, and I want you to meet me at my other one.
I sure will. Yes.
So because I feel like we need some men that's in on this too, that could also contribute and help some of the sisters out. So I know I'm gonna get way more viewers over there than over here, and I'm gonna just save this for another time. We can still do a part 2 for the ladies. So we gonna move it over there, and I'm gonna send you another link. So just check out in y'all. Well, I got your number, so I'm gonna text you when it's there. So just check your email. I'm gonna go ahead and transfer everything over there, because I really want us to do it on that.
Okay, yeah, because it's about to get juicy.
Okay, yeah. Everybody needs to hear this one.
It's about to get good.
Yeah, it's about to get good. So yeah, we're gonna move over there. Go ahead over to my next channel and I'll throw you a link.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay, bye-bye.